Hey YouTube, Christina Careless here. I'm going to do a Gimp tutorial on how to do orbs and neon beams. This is a really easy tutorial and it's pretty fun once you get the hang of it. Um, all you'll need for this is a picture of yourself or whoever you're editing and a fantasy background. I found this fantasy background on Google. I just I typed in fantasy background and found this one under images. So that's all you'll need, and a picture of yourself. Obviously, I did not take this picture of myself for this specific edit, or I wouldn't have had my leg up in the air because that just looks silly. But it'll work for this tutorial. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you're going to go ahead and create a new layer. And I'm going to call this the orb layer, which I had already typed in there. Click OK. And you're just going to need the circle brush. And I'm going to go ahead and put that back on black and white. And I'm going to make all of my orbs, I'm going to go ahead and make them white. So I'm going to make this a little bigger so it'll stand out up against in the sky. And I'll put one here. And I'll put a smaller one here and here. Okay, so right now I'm just going to do these 4 orbs. You can add as many as you want, and they pretty much already look glowy all by themselves. If you wanted to make them look more neon or more 3D, you can go ahead and do this. You want to duplicate your layer. That's one way you can do it. Or you can do what I'm going to do for the beams. You can go to filters and you'll go to alpha to logo, go down to neon, click that, and you can do this. You can create a shadow for it so it'll look more 3D, and you can choose how big you want the size, and if you want to do a solid color background behind it, you can do that. I don't ever use them, and I'm just going to keep them all white. So, just going to click OK, and it's going to make them all neon for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this layer. So now I've got these neon orbs, and I'm going to go ahead and merge all of the neon ones together. So this is what the neon ones look like without the the copy. That's why I had you make a duplicate copy, because otherwise it will just be this little circle and doesn't really look like an orb anymore. Okay, so that just basically fills in the center for you and gives it a shadow. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and merge them together. You don't have to do that step, but you can if you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the beams now. And I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to call it beam. Will be my beam layer, and you want it to go under your orbs. Okay, so to do the beams, you just need to use your path tool. Click on that, and I usually like to start at the center of the orbs, but if I'm just doing a neon beam without going into the orbs, you can start at the you should start at the bottom. I'll show you both ways to do it. Okay, so if I wanted to start from here, I'm just going to click, I'm going to click in the center and drag it around. I want it to loop through this tiny little spot right here and down here, and then I want it to go behind me one last time and then off the page. Okay, so once you've got one path selected, you can actually continue and create all of these with one path, but I like to do them all separately, so I'm going to go up here to Edit, Stroke Path, and you can do this with a pattern, but I suggest doing it with a solid color, just because your pattern won't matter once you do the neon step. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and keep this at 6, the line width, and you click and it will stroke a path for you. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now you've got just a simple white line. I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones real quick. I'll show you how to do it if you were to start at the bottom. You'd want to click off the picture, bring it up into the picture. We're just going to do this one off to the side. Alright, and then you want to stroke path again. Here we go. Now I've got two different paths. And I'm just going to make this one circle off the page. Oh, and after you do the paths, go ahead and make sure you click off of path and make that go away. Or after you stroke it, make sure you click off path to make the path thing go away. Otherwise, you will do this. You'll draw, your path like this, and then you'll hit stroke path. And then if you don't click off of the path and go like this, it will just add on to that same path. So make sure you click off of it. Alright, so I'm just going to keep them all like that. Make sure you're on your beam layer, which you should have been. And we're going to go ahead and click repeat neon, because we're going to do the same thing that we did to the orbs. We're just not going to duplicate the layer, which you can if you want, but I don't. Alright, so now they've gotten all glowy. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the background again. Oh, and I'm going to delete the shadow, just because that looks a little ridiculous. Alright, so now you've got the neon lines for your orbs, and you want to merge them down. And if you want, you can add color to them just by clicking Alpha 2 Selection, and then going to your blend tool. And I already have the gradient set to a rainbow, so I'll just show you what that would look like. So see, now it's a rainbow. But I'm going to keep them just a simple white, just so it will match the orbs. Okay, now the fun part. I get to go around the entire picture and delete any of the lines in front of myself that I don't want to keep. I'm actually going to keep this line in front of me, and then delete this one over my legs, and then I'm going to keep this one, delete that one, and keep that one. Okay, so all you need to do for this one is select your eraser tool and the circle fuzzy so that you can delete it, erase it without it being obvious. Oh, and I deleted the wrong part. So I'm going to undo that. But I'm going to go ahead and pause it while I do this because it will take a little bit of time. I like to perfect it perfectly. So, okay, I'm back. Now I've just erased what I didn't want in front of me. So now I've got the neon orbs and they look like they go behind me, and the other one goes behind and then in front. Okay, so that's all you need to do for the neon orbs. To save it, obviously you go to File, and then Save As, and save it as whatever format you want to. I'm going to save it as a regular JPG format, so I can upload it to anything. Okay, well, you can find all of my edits on my Facebook page, which I will link in the caption, and you can also request edits on Facebook from me. If you have any questions about this tutorial or anything, don't hesitate to comment and ask. Otherwise, thanks for watching and have a good day.